Hey everybody, it's Janie. Figured I would try a from my phone live stream today. So, hi. One of a kind Show Me Your Stethoscope t shirt in orange, courtesy of bowlingshirts.com. Okay, nice to see everybody, sort of. I'm not seeing you really. So, I'm checking out the page today to see what's going on, and I see a bunch of silliness, which is very, very like you, I'd like to point out. This is Janie's rig. Yay, Janie's rig. Yes, I have to have two screens because, whoa, you people are wild. Um, so I guess I better save this, or share it so I'm not talking to myself. Let's figure out how to do that. Ooh, there's a button. Oh, I'm not sure that worked. Let's try again. More. Facebook. Okay. I'm trying to share this to the group. Woot. Live now. It says it posted it, so maybe you'll actually find the page. All right, let's go up here and look. Yes, I have to look this way. Okay, there we go. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about what we're doing next year. Um, it's going to be a lot of fun, actually. So we have been talking about the rally date, and I'm sure Jaleel Johnson wants me to keep it secret, but I'm not. So anyway, it's going to be on May 4th this year. And it will be something to remember, I think, because it's going to be completely different than normal. Well, completely different than this year. And I'm not normal. You're right. Uh, well, where did I post this? I probably need a computer smart person to do this. Yes, you heard me say that. 680 something thousand followers and no computer smarts. Search Janie. There we are. Okay. Live broadcast. Nobody even likes it. Let's edit the post. Click to watch. I hate typing one-handed. Click to watch. Ask questions here. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about the rally, and I would also like to talk to you about our other plans. We're planning on having a bunch of events all around the country this year, and I really, really need you to be involved. We're talking about events for safe staffing, which is, of course, something that we're all very, very interested in. But we also need to bring a few other things, to the awareness of the public, like the fact that we can be used as punching bags. Workplace violence is a big, big deal for me because I was an ER nurse. ER nurses worry about getting punched. So, the thing I'd like to say about workplace violence to you is that you should always call the police. Your workplace cannot stop you from calling the police, and people need to understand that healthcare providers are not punching bags. And if you continue to put up with it, they will continue to do it. I had a conversation with an officer many years ago when he asked me, when I was like, hey, you need to take this one to jail. And he's like, no, we're going to go to mental health court. The patient was alert and oriented, and she said she was going to kill herself after I called the police. This is obviously not a mental health issue. It is a, incarceritis type issue. So just remember, there is absolutely no reason for you to ever put up with that kind of behavior. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. Okay. So safe staffing rally May 4th on the Hill. We're still working out what event area we're going to have and all these things, but I want you to be able to put in vacation. Put your vacation in for that day. It's a Friday. And plan on staying in DC for Saturday and Sunday because there are going to be events. Lots of events. And you are not going to want to miss this one. As a matter of fact, you'll probably hear about it in the next few days with some posts on the page and such things. So do me a favor and make sure you do it. Okay, I'm going to spam this around a little bit. Oh no, I'm watching myself. I don't like that. Okay. Paste that into the playroom. There we go. All right, so I was telling the other admins that I was live streaming because, I'm sure they're really interested. Okay, so when I say there are going to be a lot of events, I mean like a freaking ton of events. Total. What's that? Set your start point? Weird. I have no idea what that is. So, 2 people have looked at my live stream. That's awesome. That's way better than usual. Nobody usually listens to me. Broadcast alert. No, I don't know what that is. This is interesting. My kid live streams constantly, and he does this this stuff with video games on Twitch or something. He was trying to get me to stream from Twitch. I'm like, I don't know, buddy. I think probably YouTube's my answer. But he's really, into the whole talking to everybody thing. I don't know where he gets it because you guys pretty much terrify me sometimes. All right, hang on. Wow, I'm looking at myself rolling my eyes. I roll my eyes a lot. I need to cut that out. All right. So, anyway, oops. It says the stream is offline. I don't know. Okay. I'll just go on as if I'm talking to you, though I may be talking to myself. Can we try for legislation about workplace violence? Yes, Molly, actually we can. And that is in the plans. ENA has been doing this for a long time, and we do not have to reinvent the wheel. There are many states now that have actually made assaulting a healthcare provider during the performance of their duties as a felony. So what we need to do is copy that legislation and get it passed in every state. And this is going to take a lot. Oh, good, Molly. I'm glad you can see me because, wow, I was concerned. I'm like, God, I don't know how to operate this thing. But anyway, so we're going to have to lobby for this in every single state, and we are going to need every single one of you to, get on board with it. Apparently, like Molly's doing here, you can comment, actually on the stream. So I'm sure if you're one of those smart computer people, you know how to do that. So that's cool. I just hit the live event button. Let's see what that is. 7 watching now. Awesome. Okay. So apparently I can also do live events, which is something else. I'm really sorry. And I'm live streaming. Yeah, see. So that's my live. I usually say, is the house on fire? No? Then don't interrupt me. But I didn't this time. We are going to have to work on that legislation in all 50 states. Everybody that has not passed these laws. New York is a very recent addition to all that. And the New York State Nurses Association did a whole deal on that. So it's really recent. If you do a web search, you can find it. And I'm really proud of them. Tennessee has legislation on it being a crime to hurt, I'm going to assume that's healthcare providers. The record button under your stuff. So, I mean, not over it, rather, so I can't quite see that last word. But, oh, good job, Lair. one of my admins got on, and apparently even she figured out how to talk. So good. Oh, and you're saying hi to Ian. Ian, the Jennifers say hi. Hi. Because if one Jen says hi, they all say hi. So anyway, this is a super important thing for us to do. I know where I have worked, I have been told I would get fired if I called the police, and I eventually just kind of dared him to do it because I'm not a punching bag. So, and I was assaulted multiple times before I finally just had enough. Ooh, coffee time. Coffee for Janie. Favorite IKEA cup. So, lots of coffee for Janie. Or I have to log off because I'll fall directly to sleep. It was a long day. Yeah, I had one of those days yesterday in the lab where if anything could go wrong, oh, it did. And then one of my poor coworkers, Tara, who won't kill me for mentioning her name. This is not a HIPAA violation because I work with her. I don't take care of her. Had a bad car accident yesterday, and she actually broke her wrist, which kind of is a huge deal for me because it's totally going to affect my life because she's the one that does most of the scrubbing in the lab. Now, I can scrub too, but quite honestly, we have been a little short at work, and I haven't had as much of a chance to scrub as I like. But I guess I'm going to get the chance now, huh? Also, one of my other coworkers is pregnant, and we will not let her inside the lab because we want the baby to have 10 fingers, 10 toes, and only 2 eyes. So we basically won't let her in there. I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but honestly, if I had been working in a fluoro environment when I was pregnant, I would really hope that my coworkers would not have made me go in the room with the fetus and, get radiation craziness or whatever you get from that. Mutations. I have no idea. And that is also, by the way, a thing. You can actually ask to be taken out of the x-ray, so make sure if you want to, you do that. Okay, so, yay. Some good news. We got our page verified. So that's great. So we were actually confirmed as a nonprofit for Facebook with our Missouri nonprofit certificate and some other documentation. So, yay, we're real. No yachts for me. We're currently partnered with Eco stethoscopes, and that's EKO. What Eco does is pretty neat, actually. They have this device. I'm not sure what they call it, and I probably should know. But they have this device that you can either hook onto your own stethoscope, or it can go on their stethoscope. And it was like some, reasonable brand of stethoscope. It wasn't like a Littman or anything, but it was some reasonable brand. So, but I don't recall what it was, so it doesn't have the same. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, so Eco has this device that you can put on your stethoscope and use to record sounds, heart and lung sounds and stuff. And it's totally HIPAA compliant. And then you can actually send it to people across the world and whatever to hey, can you listen to this? What is the sound? Are you hearing, a new diastolic murmur? What is, with the patient's symptoms, what are you going to diagnose, empirically, basically, this patient with. And we are going to take this technology with us to Haiti during our Haiti mission trip. So it's super cool. It's super exciting for us. A lot of the people on our admin team are actually NPs. Now, having said that, we have CNAs, nurses, all kinds of people. We've had lay people on our admin team. Hold on a minute. Each state SMYS chapter needs to contact the legislative liaison in the State Nurses Association to get contacts in legislature. You are absolutely right, Molly. That is super important. And nurses need to be a little bit more involved with our legislators because apparently they mean the difference between life or death, literally, and especially when we're talking about staffing ratios. Um, so, okay. I was refreshing my page. I have to see if I can make it like bump up and stuff. So, if you keep putting comments under a post, it like bumps it up to the top. Should we post this to the group? Yeah, I did, but you could try posting it to a couple of posts that are really popular right now. So anyway, oh, this is the fun part. Do you guys want to hear about being me? I posted this to SMYS. It's about our community hospital. Oh, okay. Adminning while I'm trying to live stream is probably like a poor idea. So I'm just going to stop monitoring the group. Say stop, Janie. The gens have it. We have lots of gens right now. We have Jennifer Layer, Jen Lombardi Story, Jen Fab, and Jennifer Andrews James. So that's 4 gens. So they are named Layer, Story, Fab, and AJ. And that's how I've nicknamed them in our little chat. Okay, back to Eco. See? I have the attention span of a gnat. All right, so Eco. This little device, told you can send these. It's totally like Bluetooth compatible, so you can actually send the sound file to people all over the world, and you can use it for teaching purposes. And I don't know about you, but those lung sound and heart sound recordings that they had me listen to, like when I was in nursing school, they didn't really sound like my stethoscope, okay? But this sounds directly like your stethoscope because it is, in fact, your stethoscope. And you get to listen to all kinds of cool sounds that, if you get a sound that you don't normally hear, you can save it and you can teach people with it. And what are nurses for but to teach? We teach for a living. So if you can teach your new grad or new coworker about, hey, this is what rails sound like, or this is what really tight wheezes sound like, and hey, wait, there's no wheezes anymore, so that's a problem? Okay. So, it's really a great thing, and I think that if any of these things are, I would think you would be able to like save them in the medical record or something if the medical record allowed it. And wouldn't it be awesome to be able to save your sound file? I mean, boy, there'd be no question in court then, would there? It's terrible that we have to think about it like that. I mean, so many of us, there are so many of us, and probably 0.1% of us are not actually trying to do the very best thing we can for our patients. And that 0.1% of people are the only people that ever make the news. I work for the VA, so you know that, like, people will say to me all the time, they're like, oh, wow, I am so surprised. I came here and I just knew I was going to get treated terribly, and my care has been so good, and, all the stuff on the news. I'm like, satisfied customers do not call the news. That's why you never hear about the good care. By the way, we give excellent care at John Cochran VA, St. Louis. So, all right, legislative health committees are ones to write to. Also, taking AANP cert in June. Awesome. Tell us about that, Molly. Okay, and there's Fab. All right, see, we're getting lots of Jennifers on here again. It gets confusing. I apologize in advance. All right, so Jen Fab is from Australia. That's one of our newer admin team, and we really want to make Show Me Your Stethoscope a global organization. It already is. I mean, we have nurses from the Philippines, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, docs from Bangladesh, as we know, Dr. Kabir. We have people all over the place. Philip Chalmers, who is our community manager, he's kind of the head admin in charge, and the person that you should be sending messages to instead of me, by the way. Philip Chalmers. Very, very polite gentleman. Way more polite than me. You probably definitely want to talk to him instead of me. Just saying. So we have a lot of people from a lot of places. It's pretty cool. And the admin team itself is actually super diverse in the U.S. I mean, let's see, North Carolina, Jersey, St. Louis, that's me. And we do have a couple of people in St. Louis simply because my friends were crazy enough to help me admin this group, so that's an issue. But Gen Fab Australia, we have Nathan, who is, I believe, an NZ. And, you know, people from everywhere. So, cool. All right. So, do you guys have any questions you want to ask me? Because you can totally ask them. And I will even answer and everything, because I'm feeling like that. Unless it's too personal. And, hey, do you guys want to hear the story about the Jennifers picking me up from the airport in D.C.? That was choice. I mean, choice. Some great stuff. I'm waiting for Lair to make a comment because she was, in fact, one of the two Jens. It was Lair and Story who picked me up at the airport. Jaleel, I thought he was going to blow a gasket. Okay. So, first of all, my plane is delayed. And then delayed again. And then canceled. My family wound up not even getting there until like midnight. But to get me there relatively on time, air quotes, a whole bunch of people started essentially bullying Southwest Airlines and telling them that I needed to get there on time. And it actually worked. I got the final seat. There were no empty seats on a flight to Baltimore. Now, as you may or may not know, if you're from the DC area, of course you know, but in DC, you have Reagan and Dulles airports, and then you have Baltimore, which is not really far away. It's like maybe 45 minutes. So now I needed transportation from the airport, and I was going to just get, some kind of transportation, but instead I asked the Jens to pick me up, and that's Jen Lombardi Story and Jen Lair. Yes, it was that bad, Lair. It was that bad. So, so essentially, they came to get me, and we were also going to have to pick up Jay Sierra, who is another one of the admins, and she was at Reagan. She was at Ronald Reagan Airport. So I haven't been to D.C. in like 20 years, since I was in the military. And I get in the car with them. They're late. Apparently there was a ton of traffic, way worse traffic than they were used to dealing with, which happens. I mean, let's face it, you're in a new city, place like DC, who would expect that traffic? But there it is. So they get there, they're a little late, but we're going to make it on time. But then they tell me they have to pick up Jay. I'm like, well, okay, So Lair is doing the directions, and she was apparently taking us to Dulles Airport instead of Reagan. And I'm looking around and I'm going, okay, I haven't been to DC in 20 years. This is not the way to Dulles, or not the way to Reagan. This is the wrong way. And we get on the GPS, and apparently, yeah, we were going to Dulles, and I was very late. There was lateness. I hate to be late. And then, of course, Jen Lair hadn't slept in like 2.5 days because she worked a couple of shifts. Oh, it was awful. Tennessee Ambassador here. How do we get info on doing a Save Pat run? Well, it's funny you should ask, Molly. Are you in our new group for planning the walks? Now I have to find the group, guys. But, you got to take the opportunity when the opportunity comes. We got to get more people involved here. The most important thing is actually getting everybody on this. It's not so much, me just jabbering at you. Hold on. Where the heck is it? My groups. Do you guys even want to see this? Check it out. when I go to my groups, that's what I get. I have pages of groups now because I have all of these change groups and all kinds of stuff. So every now and then it becomes a little overwhelming and I deeply consider leaving all of these groups, but I don't. So, and then I have my child loss groups because you guys know I lost my son a bunch of years ago and I'm in a ton of those. Just all kinds of different stuff. And then people add me to stuff like their 31 group and their Tastefully Simple group. Yeah, I'm not buying anything. And yeah. Okay, so Tennessee. Hold on a minute. Where's the walk stuff? You know when you forget what somebody named a group that you're in and it's super important, you don't, it's a pain. Hold on a minute. Walk group. So the walks are actually being done by Nurses for National Patient Ratios. So I bet if I went to their page, I would automatically find the other one. Rally for National Nurse Patient Ratio. So that's the Rally page. Let's see. So the bottom line here is you are going to... boy, that was dead air. Sorry about that. So, no, you're not in the group. Okay, Molly. So then I definitely need to find this. And I'm apparently not being successful, but I will find it. Walk for National Patient Ratios. The other problem is that instead of using a webcam this time, I decided to use my phone, because technically my phone has a better camera than the webcam. And I want you to see exactly how many freckles I have. Too many. So, hold on. Hang on, Molly. I'm going to add you to this group. Tell you what, so I don't completely screw up here and not even look at you guys, why don't I add you to this after the broadcast? Yeah, I'll post it in the Ambassador Hub when we get done here. Okay, Run for Patient Safety, is that the name of it? Oh, it is, you big smarty pants. Alright, so I'm going to paste this into Show Me Your Stethoscope at the top of the group. Actually, I'll put it on our page. Have you liked the page yet? If you have not liked the page yet, it's facebook.com/Show Me Your Stethoscope page. And for God's sakes, please join it. We need lots of people in there so I can disseminate information in a reasonably organized manner. It's, the group is awesome. The group's my baby. Okay, I love the group, but I cannot disseminate information in the group because there are almost 700,000 of you. We still get thousands of posts a day. It's unbelievable. The momentum has not slowed down at all. Not even a little bit. Okay, so I constantly have to have like 20, 30 people working on the page to keep you guys happy. I'm also posting that walk in the main group, so people can join that as well. Okay, Jen, I posted it. Thank you. So we've got all of these people, and unfortunately, it creates an information bottleneck. Some of the ways that you can make sure that you see more of the news are these two things. One is, three things. There will be 3 things. Okay, so you can go look at the group in the group instead of reading the group in your news feed. And that will actually let you see the pinned post. Yes, we do have a pinned post. But it's kind of, you never see it unless you actually view it in the group. If you view it in your news feed, you will never, ever see the pinned post. We learned this the hard way after nobody ever saw our stuff ever. And we had the rules pinned there, and they're like, what pinned post? Yeah, I got you, Molly. Yeah, I've got it pasted at the top of the Facebook group. and on the Facebook page, and like it while you're there if you haven't. I think you have though. So at any rate, you're the 3 places in the group if you view it as the group by itself, okay, or you can do it on the website. You can see most of our news because normally I blog about it. I blab about everything, or you can see it on the Facebook page. Facebook page is a really concise way to do it. I got the page verified today finally. It only took 6 months. 6 months. 6. Okay. I'm not bitter at all. So yeah, you got all that. So those are the ways to best see the information. If you can do that, that would be better. I mean, I know it means adding another group to your list or Facebook page in this issue, or going to smysofficial.com. Some of you may actually not know that I write a blog. I've written a ton of blogs, over 100, for this group about different things I think about, things that are going on in the group, all kinds of other stuff, issues in nursing. And if you haven't seen them, you might actually like them. My writing style is a lot like my talking style, irreverent and sarcastic. So it's not too bad. A lot of people enjoy it a lot, and some companies have asked me to blog for them, so it can't be that bad, right? All right. So, eco stethoscopes, back on that. So I do want to tell you that if you decide you need an eco attachment or an eco whole stethoscope thing, if you put in this discount code, and I think it's SMYS 2016, Show Me Your Stethoscope 2016, you get $15 off, and then Eco matches that $15 and gives it to us. So they charge you $15 less, and they give us $15, which means that they're losing $30 out of the gate on the stethoscope, and that's EKO stethoscopes. And they, they're doing a good thing. They're getting some advertising from us, but we'll get the money, back in. We'll get the effort back in, hopefully, a little money if you guys buy it. So you can buy it if you want, and if you don't want, we'll have t-shirts again. T-shirts, mugs, all the tchotchkes you guys like. I have a bunch of stethoscope. Read the blog about elderly man and his wife. So sad. Yeah, that's a great one. I have actually. Yeah. Sometimes I read some other people's blogs. I read my blog, and I get teary and stuff, and I'm all like, oh my God. You've been like this ever since you had children. I cry over everything. When I got the pictures from Dr. Kabir of the kids in the orphanage, I was inconsolable. I was, my husband's like, oh my God, I really like Show Me Your Stethoscope, but stop crying. Stop crying. Okay. All right. So safe staffing rallies, and they're going to be, we talked about Pat, right? And Pat's funny. Pat's a little takeoff on Saturday Night Live with the ambiguous Pat, who nobody could tell if they were a girl or a boy. But that was on purpose. The reason that Pat is because I wanted Pat to represent everyone. Now, Jaleel Johnson came up with Pat. I came up with, I want to bring an item from city to city, some kind of item that people can identify with, to, from city to city for all these patient safety walks that we're going to do. So people can feel like they belong to the whole organization. And yeah, I'm kind of telling you my little marketing / whatever strategy, but you're not stupid. This is something that I want you to feel like you're part of. So that's why I'm doing it. But I said that to Jaleel. Yeah, I want to bring an object. And he goes, a patient. You want to bring a patient. I was like, oh, well, that's brilliant. Yes, Lair, I know you want this shirt, but you can't have it because it's one of a kind. That's right. I have the only orange and navy blue Show Me Your Stethoscope shirt. much to PJ Allen's dismay, I'm quite sure, because it's bright colored and, well, it's very Janie. Everything is orange. Um, so, excuse me. So Pat, coming to a city near you, Pat is going to have things happen because, as we all know, when our staffing is unsafe, things happen to you. And we are going to ask healthcare providers across the country to tell us about errors that reach their patients. And when they tell us about them, we're going to pick stuff. That's exactly what it was. Pat is like the Olympic torch, Molly. That was the terminology I used, actually. So everybody could belong to it, just like the Olympic fire going across the country. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So when Pat comes to your city, or way before Pat comes to your city, because we're going to have to plan these things, you are going to be asked what medical errors you've had that have reached a patient. And Pat will have some of these things happen to it, because that's what happens when you don't staff appropriately. So we'll be asking you about your medical errors. And you know what? There is no shame in making a mistake, ever. Okay? As long as you're willing to own your mistake, there's never shame. So, please try to be honest with us about it. And don't make anything up. We only want the truth. We want truth. Because quite honestly, a fantastic story that's not true does not make our case. We know we need safer staffing. We know we need ratios. We know we need these things to happen. But having said that, it's not the only thing Show Me Your Stethoscope does. If rallies and political things and whatever aren't your bag, there's always the philanthropy side, the mission trips and all that. But with the rallies and Pat, we need truth, and we need your honest medical errors. And if you don't want to tell anybody it was you don't have to. If you've already kind of decided, to come out with it, you told somebody about it or whatever when it happened, which of course you should do, because that's how we fix our mistakes, by knowing what happened and doing a root cause analysis, folks. But we're going to want to know these things so we can spread awareness to the community at large about this whole issue. And Molly, getting into that walk group and planning your walk, that's the best thing you can do. Ask everyone to come to your walk and do these things, and we'll raise a greater awareness. And quite honestly, I want seniors involved, because senior citizens are using up healthcare beds, healthcare dollars, and they deserve to know where they're going. I would love to somehow get AARP to come in with us and just, tell their members stories and what's happened to them, because, there wasn't a nurse right next to them. Okay, so this has been awesome, but I think I need to cook dinner, or probably the 12-year-old's going to come down here and bite my arm off. So, I'll talk to you guys again soon. I had fun with this one. Buy an Eco stethoscope, because that's awesome. That is awesome. If you're going on the Haiti trip, you'll get to use them too and see how much you like them. So, Eco, like the page, all these things. They're talking about French toast in admin chat. Why are they doing that? I'm not eating carbs. Run for Patient Safety group, which I have posted in the group and on the change page. And you guys, we'll chat again, and hopefully we can, keep the dialogue open, I guess, about safe staffing, about workplace violence, and about philanthropy and just being unified, because we want nurses to be unified. All healthcare providers do, not just nurses. But I say nurses a lot because, I am a nurse. But that doesn't mean I'm leaving you out. All right. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night.